morning and thanks for joining us. We're gonna just show us hooking up this Bale Unroller and going out and feeding the cattle. This is a Bale Unroller we built last year and have used for not quite a year yet. Yeah, we're gonna put it on your quad. So I think maybe at the end we'll walk through this in a little bit more detail to kind of show how we put it together. But for now we're just gonna show how we hook it up and how we unroll it. All right. Go ahead, start it up, Jace. All right, come on, Jason, let's go. Go fast. Stay on it, Kenny. Stop. Jake, okay, hang on. Nice job, buddy. Way to go. Jace, on your brake. Hold the brake. All right, so we just unrolled a bale. I'm gonna walk through how this, kind of how it got put together, just real quick. So there's a gear reduction winch on the front of this. I would highly recommend a gear reduction winch. We unroll a 1,000-pound 4x5 round bale, and it's a lot to wind that up. So I've seen some guys go with an electric winch. There's been times where I've thought that's a good idea. There's times others where I like the simplicity of what we have. You'd have to run, wiring off the back of the whatever machine we're using. Today we used a Honda Recon, which is just I think it's either a 200 or a 250 cc machine. Honestly, if you're going anything other than downhill with that, it's not gonna fly. We sometimes use we have a little Ferguson TO30 tractor. That's nice. You can kind of unroll the bales however you want. We also have a side-by-side that we use. That's also really nice. It's got more traction than these. But yeah, if you take a look at these machines, I mean, you can basically pick the whole back end of it off the ground. They don't hardly weigh anything. Let me flip this camera around and show you kind of some of the details on how this thing's put together. All right, so here's some the details on how this goes together. These top spears here, they're just I just bought bale spears, like you would replace a bale spear on a for moving around bales, and I just cut the ends off and welded a little bit of a handle there. I almost never need to pull on that handle to pull them out. One of the key parts if you're going to build one of these is this needs to be a very slit fit onto the rod, and you need a way to block it, because this needs to rotate around that rod because the bale is spinning, thus the bale spear is spinning, and this needs to stay constant or you're going to get a chain that's all tangled up. On this chain, you got poop on my hand. That's farming for you. This chain, I used to wrap them around here. So it was long like this, and I would wrap, then I would buckle these two together, and I changed it up and just welded a half of a link onto the end. And then I've got this. There's very little force pulling out on these. So something super robust isn't needed. And I'll be honest, when I had just the hook, there were plenty of times where that came unlooped when I was, the bale was done, and then this thing would slide off, and then I got to play a game of hide and go seek with where did my bale spear go while I'm out trying to, feed cattle and, get on to the next thing. I'm out searching for a bale spear. So the 10 minutes or less that it took to put that welding on there was a good change. Hey boys, we're almost about to go. I need you. Can you guys go pick up that that net wrap that's over there, please? All right. There's also another piece up there. Get the net wrap and then stuff it in your Ranger, okay? So let me give you a good look at these this pivot mechanism. So I did put a grease circ here and a grease circ up under here. I don't think those need a ton of wear, but I think that generally that was a good idea. They both don't need to move. But doing it this way did make it so the whole thing could be disassembled if it ever needed to be. I do think if I had to do it again, this shaft and this shaft that goes to the axle, I should have just drilled a hole through here in both accounts. That would have made assembly a little bit easier. But yeah, there you go. Kind of just took pictures of what people had done on the internet and tried to replicate that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this came out generally. I just would say that this size quad, if that's your only way to do this, this might not be the best idea, or you're just gonna have to get good at how to line it up. So yeah, and then I really like how this works out for a cattle. You can see they're all eating in a line. I've got some smaller broods or some smaller stockers in here. So the way our operation works is we buy in calves about 6 months old. So we buy them spring calves. We buy them in the fall.
That's stuck.
Your net wrap stuck? Well, go pull on it a little harder. If you guys pull on it together, it'll unstick.
We tried.
Okay, I'll come help you in just a second. Okay, I'm almost done, and then we'll go. So we buy these cattle as calves. We get them at about 6 months old, and we keep them for about 2 years before we send them off for harvest. So I've got, like, you see 304 in there with the tag and a little bit of white on his face. He's not even, he'll be a year probably in April, May time frame, but he's in here with cattle that are you know, they're gonna be slaughtered this spring, or some of them will be this fall. So kind of see having these smaller calves in here with the bigger ones. It's nice having this in a big long line. When we get really deep snow, I do have to feed out of a bale ring. You can see it way up there in the picture. And I don't like that for a lot of reasons, but one of them is getting cattle around the bale ring is it's a lot. It's not really enough ring, I think, for this many. There's 23 head out here. You know, about 10 of those are calves that are pretty, you know, still pretty small yet. I also really like the way our ground bounces back on an unrolled bale vice a bale ring. They just beat the ground up around a bale ring. All right, let's do it, buddy. Let me help you. All right, I'm sure there's more to talk about, but I think that's good for now. You know, I guess if you got questions on how we build a bale unroller, you know, questions about cattle, not that I'm an expert. Actually, I can guarantee I'm not an expert. Or questions about fencing, you know, just let me know. And I'd love to answer your questions either in the comments or however that may be. And if it's a good question, we get a lot of it, we can do a video on that. So, all right, thanks.